Hi everybody, Dean Crandall here. Just wanted to touch base with you and go over the exclusive right to sell listing agreement document with you. So first thing I'm going to do is turn off my camera because I'll be looking at a different screen. Want to share my screen with you so that we can go through this particular document. Bang, and there we are. This is the exclusive right to sell listing agreement and agency disclosure. Wanted to give you the language that you should use as you present this document. Please don't just send it to someone and say, please sign, and ask me if you have questions later. It shouldn't work that way. As professionals, we need to explain to our clients what they're signing. Okay, so I'm going to go through each paragraph. You're welcome to steal my language. I try and have fun with it. First and foremost, we need to put in your brokerage name. If you're using the multiple listing service, that's where I'm pulling this document. It'll automatically publish KW Westfield Keller Williams Real Estate. Put that information in there. Here I have Sammy and Sammy Seller. They are husband and wife. They are the sellers of the property. Has my name in here, and it says that I am authorized agent of the company. The effective date is in section 17 when we sign this bad boy, and it expires in a future date. Just to let you know, all of my listings expire on the same date. All my listings expire December 31. I don't take less than a 6-month listing. So just to let you know, if we were, say, in the month of July, August, or September, it would be December 31 of the following year. Because in my business, I've chosen not to take a shorter than a 6-month listing. That's just my choice. And I don't like to worry about when my listings expire. They all expire the same day. That'll be different than how I do things on a buyer agreement. We'll talk about that when we talk about the buyer broker. Brokerage fee. Most agents like to get paid. Now I'm going to actually treat this as if I were printing this out. In this little tiny box, I typed some information. And when I print it, it comes out beautifully. But I type in a parenthetical phrase. I say circle 1, 6%, 7%, 8%. I want the seller to make a choice on how much they're going to be paying our brokerage to do that. 99 times out of 100, it's going to be 6%. There are times when I have been known to take less than 6, but it's amazing. If you don't have 5 or 4 up there, it just doesn't, you don't have that argument. And they'll typically circle 6%. 7 or 8 are there in case we decide we want to pay a buyer's agent 4 or 5%. I explain it very simply. My brokerage takes 3% to sell your home. We also should offer 3% to a buyer's brokerage or a buyer's agent because they're also working really hard for their livelihood and working on that. So anyway, that's why I do that. I do it also insist that the seller circle it. I never do. And my plan is to actually present this in hard copy to my sellers. If I'm not, and we're going to just send it to them electronically, I would just put 6% in this little box here for the commissions. On the bottom of this paragraph, I state how much we're going to be paying a buyer's brokerage. And in this case, we're going to be paying that buyer brokerage 3%. Don't forget to have your seller's initial in this little section here at the bottom of paragraph 2. Paragraph 3, because I take long listings, all my listings are at least 6 months. The only time it's going to be an exact 6 months is if we're signing a doc at the 30th of June, and I don't take a ton of listings on June 30th, not because I don't want to, it's just I don't. So I usually give myself an additional month after the agreement goes away. That means if somebody showed the home in November or December and they didn't write an offer on it that was accepted by the seller before the end of January, our brokerage is still protected. And that's all. Number 4, the seller warrants that they are indeed the seller and that they own the property, that they can sell the property, and they can give free and clear title to the property. They also agree to disclose any defects they're aware of on the property, and I encourage that we insist, that they sign the wire fraud alert disclosure document. Agency, this is a big deal to the division of real estate. You represent the seller. You have fiduciary duties to the seller that include loyalty, obedience, full disclosure, confidentiality, and reasonable care, and anything else the law decides they want you to perform on behalf of your seller. I explained to them that I have a money responsibility to the seller. When I'm presenting this agreement, I don't talk about limited agency. I simply let them know that we'll cross that bridge if indeed we have limited agency. Paragraph 6, I usually write above it, I say realtors equal dumb as rocks. All that means is we are trained in marketing real estate and in being experts on knowing what properties should sell for in the current market space. However, if you have questions regarding anything, and they have examples, past or present compliance with zoning, tax or legal matters, physical condition of the property, the listing agreement, or any transaction for the acquisition of the property, you need to go to the right person who's licensed to talk about those things. You need to talk with the city if you have any questions about zoning. For instance, I want to make this house a marijuana grow house. Well, you better make sure that you have permission or you have filled all the forms out with the particular city or county where you're living. So that's where we talk about professional advice. Don't speak beyond your license. 7, dispute resolution. First and foremost, I tell you as a seller, we're not going to have any fights. If we have a fight, it'll probably be over money and I'm going to walk away and maintain our relationship versus having a fight over money because nothing's worth it. And I would rather maintain the relationship, walk away, be friends, than have a fight over money. But because this contract was written by an attorney, paragraph 8 simply states that attorneys will be paid. So if it does go to court, the prevailing party would collect reasonable and customary attorney fees. Okay? Paragraph 9, this is kind of the crux of everything. I typically write in the margin over here the word dentist. I say, I'm the dentist, you're the patient, please don't tell me how to drill. In like manner, I'm the realtor and the real estate professional, and you're a seller. Let me sell your home. Let me do what's best to get your home sold. So this contract, this paragraph literally says that we're going to take steps deemed necessary and appropriate by the agent and the company, including but not limited to the MLS and any advertising that the seller agrees to and the agent agrees to do. So super important, be the dentist, and you can pick your analogy. You can be a conductor and they can be a member of the orchestra, but don't tell me how to lead the music, all that kind of stuff. On these ones, there's an important one here. Please, in B over here, where we're talking about square footage of the home, use county records or use an appraisal if you have one. Usually about 98% of every one I do is based on county records. If I do have access to the seller's appraisal, use that because a live person actually went out and measured the home. All right. If it's new construction, you may choose building plans for that. But don't just guess and don't use an old MLS listing. That's inappropriate. Okay? These are all the steps and things that you can do to get a home sold. Number 10, I typically write drugs in the margin over here. I let them know that the number one thing stolen right now in the state of Utah are prescription medications. So please don't leave them out and don't put them in the medicine cabinet and certainly don't put them in the underwear drawer because that's where people look first. But they should probably be inside a safe along with your jewelry and with your firearms, etc. If you have any collectibles, things that are breakable, it would be a good idea to go ahead and get those packed because we're going to get your home sold quickly and we're going to move on. Now, in my listing agreements, there are attachments because I give the seller what I call an easy exit listing agreement. If they want out, they can get out. And so I have language in command under the addenda clauses, and you can actually see what I actually put in my addendum to the exclusive right to sell listing agreement. Okay? Paragraph 12, ask them if indeed they are a foreign person, meaning are you here on a foreign passport? And regardless of where they're headed, if they're considered a foreign person by the IRS, then we need to make sure that they check is. Otherwise, if they're a U.S. citizen, they're here, they're going to be fine. If they're here on green card, likely they are a foreign person. So I just want to let you know, green card is also known as a resident alien card. Paragraph 13, We need to show the home to anybody that wants to see the home. We cannot discriminate because it's a man, it's a woman, it's a Polynesian, it's a white person. Okay? We simply discriminate and say anybody may see this home. Sellers would be foolish not to take money that is green from any buyer. But that's just how we need to treat this, and so that we have to be fair to all parties that want to see the house. 14, if we have electronic signatures in any part of this document, it's just as good as wet signatures and ink. 15, the due on sale clause could be triggered in a lending agreement or in the trust deed documents if there's a loan on the home. About 95% of them actually do have a due on sale clause if the seller conveys the property to somebody else. So we want to make sure that we do it correctly. If the seller is going to convey the property other than selling it, meaning they do a lease option, or they lease the property out, or they do seller financing where they are the bank and they wrap this around their loan, please come talk to me before we go into that, okay? But if they're selling the property straight up, don't worry about it. 16, this is the entire agreement between me and the seller, and with any addenda. The effective date is the dates that we put in. It would be, gosh, today's date. We would click on that and have dates. Last but not least, seller sign, and darn it, agent, you need to sign as well. I do not want you to illegally represent a listing and say that you have one when you don't. If all the signatures aren't here, you don't have a valid agreement. So make sure that you have all of the owners of the home signing. If one has passed away, make sure that we have all the necessary documents. Talk with your title company to make sure you have everything in place so that you can sell the property. Good luck and take a ton of listings. Thanks so much for watching this video. Hope it was helpful. If you have questions, please be sure to call me, text me, email me. Love to help you out. Also, you can use my questions form. It's questions, plural, .kwwestfield.com. And you just fill out the form and I will get back with you. Thanks so much and have fun.